Okay, folks, hail, welcome to the latest edition of the Belfast Boys Celtic podcast, live on Sunday, the 4th of December. It's just gone 3 minutes past 11:30. Been a long time since I've done the show. I've recently been trying to get some people onto the show with me. So today I've got the infamous Twitter poll master, Big Daddy Pedro from Twitter. How you doing, Dave? Good morning, mate.
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm okay, mate. I'm grand. Thank you very much. Guys, I've got Dave on here with me through Skype. So if you can let me know how the sound's going, it would be great. Even if you tweet at Big Daddy Pedro and let him know what the sound's going on like. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been on doing the podcasts, and I'd say it's actually a few months. A lot's actually been going on in my life, and I've let Dave down on a number of occasions. Sometimes it couldn't be helped, so I do apologise for that. But on this day in 1951, Jock Stein signed for Celtic as a player from, I believe it's a Welsh club called Llanelli. Well, I hope they're Welsh if I'm any good at my football. So I'm gonna kick into the nitty gritty of what we want to be talking about today. So we'll get straight into the game yesterday. Dave, what was your thoughts on it, mate? It was a bit of a whirlwind, wasn't it?
It was. It was a good game. It really was. I mean, there was a lot of players that didn't start off well, I'd say. I wouldn't say they're performers, but they weren't performing at their best. Dembele is probably one of them. And Paddy Roberts, as I tweeted out, he probably forgiven for actually thinking he did have a good game, but he gave the ball away a few times, and his passing left a lot to be desired. I mean, there was one move at the start of the game where he made a diagonal run toward the box, and his touch to him into the box which was great, but then his pass slipped out to Dembele, which could have been better.
Yeah.
But overall, I really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I mean, the first half was a bit of a bomb scare from us. I mean, it's I'm sure we can be forgiven for having a little cup victory hangover, sitting on the streets eating kebabs and so on. If you remember the Scott Brown photograph was knocking around, but I'm sure
that's the thing as well. I mean, Brendan said he had let the players put their hair down a bit and go and celebrate, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I suppose, but
nothing wrong with it at all, mate. You know, it's the one thing. I mean, Kolo Touré as well. So the last bomb scare that he had, I believe, was the Mönchengladbach game, and he hadn't played a game since.
That's right, he hasn't played since, yeah.
So Rodgers brought him back into the fold yesterday, and hey ho, what do you know? The first goal, in my opinion, it couldn't be helped. He shouldn't have been given that type of space, but what can you do? It was a well taken goal. The second one
was just a bit rusty. I mean, he was a bit out of position. He could have done a bit better, but I mean, you can't blame him too much. I mean, he's not played much football in a while.
Yeah, well, this is true. I mean, I think he's going to be a great squad player for us, and I mean, I think he's a big character in the dressing room, along with Scott Brown, and we've got a lot of big characters in our dressing room there. So I mean, I think we're certainly we've certainly bonded. If you look at this time last season where we were, and God, it was going into the unknown. I think it was just a relief this time last season to get the league over the line and make sure we didn't break our stride with so many championships in a row. But I think that yesterday, first half, put it down to a bad day. Moving into the second half, I mean, 2-0 down at half time. I'm sure the hairdryer was out. I'm sure that Brendan Rodgers didn't really need to say too much. But under Ronnie Deila last season, I would have said, fuck, I don't know if we're gonna fucking pull this back, you know, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. We'll be lucky to get a draw.
I think that myself. I mean, when we were actually 2-0 down, I actually thought that we were going to give the points away. I didn't really see us coming back into the game because we've not really been tested like that before this season. I think we've only been a goal down once, and it was against Kilmarnock, that window goal.
Yeah.
And I actually thought we'll get the points away today, but I mean, the way we came back was absolutely amazing. I mean, credit to the lads for doing that. I mean, as I say, a lot of them in the first half didn't really perform at their standards, but the second half they showed their strengths, and they really did do themselves justice.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, like their Rogic yesterday, or Rogic or whatever the hell we're fucking calling him these days. I don't care what he's called, but listen, he's
just Big Tom, you know.
Hi, Big Tom. I think that's a safe bet, isn't it? So he's you look at it and you go, all right. This another positive to take from it yesterday is that he actually got 90 minutes under his belt. And I mean, there's a guy who we've all seen, like, let's be honest, we've all seen him come on and go off in the 60-minute mark and be exchanged for whoever else there. I mean, I'm delighted to see him get the 90 minutes under his belt.
See, I was actually quite surprised at that myself. I mean, usually before a Champions League game as well, they're not giving the full 90. They'll usually give him the first half, maybe 60 minutes, and then take him off and rest him for the Champions League game coming up. So the fact that he played a full 90 minutes before we go and play Man City, I mean, that's quite a good sign to me.
Yeah, definitely. They took a 3-1 defeat off Chelsea yesterday, but also the fact that I think that Rodgers never played Rogic there because excuse me, there was a lot of airmails used there, so I think he was away to Australia, over to Dubai, back to some other country, and then back over to Scotland. So I think that he's a well-travelled player. He's a Geary and Gamboa as well. I'm sure you can put them all in the same basket there, that if they are being called up for international duty, that they're going to be... I'm only back from America there, and listen, I'm still I'm still a bit out of sorts there, so it's jet lag is no joke. I can tell you that. So we're looking at the table then here, Dave, and it's only the Sheep lapped it there yesterday. They could have done us a big favour. I mean, to be honest with you, I hate both those teams. But looking at the table there, 3 games in hand. We're on 37 points. The Sevco are on 29 points. So listen, let's be honest. You know it and I know it. It's we're going to win the league this year. It's
definitely.
I'm expecting it done and dusted by Valentine's Day.
I can see a lot of the Huns actually maybe getting overexcited here, thinking, oh, we're only 8 points behind or whatever, but they'll be forgetting we've got 2 games in hand. Is it 2? It's 2, isn't it?
It's three over them.
3 games in hand.
Two over Aberdeen. But I mean, with the Rangers currently in second place there, but Aberdeen two games over, or 2 games to play over Rangers, and they're 5 points off the pace. So really, if they win those 2 games, they're coming into second place. But they took a tanking off Hearts the other night as well, which is good to see. And it's good to see the reality finally sink into them, that they're not, the sense of entitlement, the sort of, oh god, we're not entitled to fuck all these days, because they'll be doing well to be beating clubs like St Johnstone and stuff like that too. So
I think reality really is setting in for them though. I don't really think it is. I mean, you look at some of the stuff they tweet out and stuff like that, I mean, I don't think they'll ever accept reality. They'll still always think they're this massive club that has the right to win leagues and stuff like that just because of their name.
Yeah, I mean, it's entitlement more than anything that I hate in life. If people think that they're entitled to something and they just go and they get these things due to dodgy dealings and Mason handshakes and stuff like that. So I mean, I want to give a wee shout out there to Mark Callahan there in the chat room from the ball bags. The ball boys, and and my long term comrade there, Alistair Jack. Alistair, I hope you're well, mate. So as I said there, we've touched on the games in hand there. It's points in the bag, like, you know, it's a given that we're going to win the league, in my opinion. So players yesterday that were important. So from the back then, Craig Gordon, okay game. He didn't really have to do overly much, apart from concede 3 goals. But I think that was down to defensive lapses as opposed to his errors. In my,
I wouldn't really put a lot of that down to Gordon. There was maybe one goal where he could have, I think it was in the second, I thought he could have done a bit better, but I would really put it to the defence for conceding goals yesterday. I mean,
yeah.
Colo really for the
yeah, big.
It was a first year position.
Big Colo, yeah, he did have a bit of a fright. Let's be honest. Simunovic was in there as well. I'm just trying to remember. Lustig was playing yesterday. Who was the other defender we had in there?
Oh, it was Simunovic,
Lustig, Colo.
Ezegeri, and Lustig.
He's a Gary, yeah. So as far as midfield went, I mean, I was quite happy with the performance in the second hand. But looking at if you look over the squad there, then Dave, from the start of the season. So prior to if you rewind there a little bit and you bring yourself back to the start of the season, as the when we didn't have Brendan Rodgers as a manager. So I'm going to go through the squad here. I mean, Aidan Nesbitt. He's obviously a development fringe player type thing, so I mean I wouldn't have expected any changes where he would be going. So the next one I'm going to say to you about is Callum McGregor. So what were your thoughts and opinions of him pre-season and now reflecting on mid-season?
I was a bit of a fan of him to start with. I thought he'd done well, and I thought he deserved credit for the way he dropped to the team due to form, rightfully so. And he fought for his place to get it back, but I don't really think he's Celtic standard. I mean, he is a good player, and he'll do well at another club, but I think Stuart Armstrong's a better player for him, and I'm not exactly Armstrong's biggest fan either, but Armstrong deserves the spot more than he does. Yeah. He has a ball far too much for me.
Yeah.
Dangerous areas as well.
Yeah, he is young. He is young also, but I mean, he had a couple of loan spells and so on. I think he was away down to England on loan. I can't even recall the club he was playing for. Yeah, Stuart Armstrong. I mean, let's be honest. We have an abundance of players there in midfield, and that's where the depth of the team is going to come in, and it's going to help us and benefit us in our favour throughout the season there. So then we have Mulgrew's gone, obviously. He's at Blackburn with Stokesay. Am I right in saying that? Is he Blackburn? Yeah. So I mean, we all went through that transition period of you can't sell Stokes. He's Celtic through and through. Come on, seriously. And it's sort of like your heart overruling your head. And it got to a stage where I was like, I mean, if you can recall, Dave, that Ronnie Dale is saying, I need to cut the squad down and add quality. Dale had threatened to do that. Rodgers has actually had a pair of balls on him and went out and done it. So you look at the likes of Charlie Mulgrew, like that guy's a fucking Celtic diehard. You have the likes of Stokesay, Dirk Boerick. They're devastated to see him go.
I think everybody was.
I mean, big names there, and he's cut the fat down. And the next person I'm going to move on to is Craig Gordon. So has he had the kick in the hole that he's needed since?
Definitely. I mean, I've always been quite a big fan of Gordon, and I thought he didn't ball was due to the defensive partnership in front of him.
Yeah.
I always thought that once you put two solid defenders, or two trustworthy defenders in front of him, you will see a lot better out of him. And I think a lot of it was going to, I mean, who would know if you've got Ambrose in front of you, you know what I mean? You're going to be a bit nervous most of the
It'd be fun.
I think the fact that Ambrose is up to me as well has helped Brown.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be sleeping.
Conceding mistakes at the back.
You'd be sleeping with one eye open if Ambrose was in front of you.
Aye, definitely.
So the thing is, I mean, in my opinion, I think he got a little bit complacent. He had the slippers on. He was home in Scotland. He was quite happy to be here and so on. And he and Rodgers obviously got that vibe from him that, listen, this guy's a little bit too comfortable here in his position. I need to ruffle feathers, and I think he's got a fantastic response from Craig Gordon. So yes, I was a fan of him there, and I still am. But rightly so, I think he's taken on well, that he's got a kick in the hole that he needed to boost his performance and get into Rodgers' way of playing. So the next one, new signing then, Christian Gamboa. How do you think it's working out for him?
I think a lot of people have been too quick to judge Gamboa. For what I've seen, he looks okay. I think we'll see a lot more from him, but once you start to get a steady run in the team, obviously it's Lustig for me in that position every day of the week just now.
Definitely.
But as we all know, Lustig can get injured very easily. His legs are made of glass. As soon as he gets injured and we see him get a run in the team, I think we will see the best of him.
Yeah.
I really think he can be a good player for us.
Yeah, I mean, Lustig has notoriously had the old chocolate hamstring, and but what I've noticed in Lustig is over the last few games, the cup final, the win yesterday, is that the pure fucking passion and the photographs.
He's absolutely mad.
He fucking loves it.
I picture him jumping up there and he's right on top of all the players. He's absolutely mental.
Yeah.
But that's what you need for a Celtic player, man. If you're going to play for a club like Celtic, you need to be a wee bit mad at times.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's in the job interview that you need to be a bit of a lunatic at some stage in your life. So I think we still have Darnell Fisher. I think he's on loan, or did we get shot of him?
I think Yanko's on loan as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I never see him again. In my honest opinion, Yanko is at Huddersfield. Is it? I'm not sure. I'm sure. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that we get rid of a lot of dead wood. But I did rate Darnell Fisher. But listen, let's be honest. The back line there that we have is pretty experienced. And
so what I remember of Darnell Fisher's 10 games he played in a row under Lennon, and he played quite well.
He did.
That's my only real memory of Darnell Fisher, but he did look like a decent player during that spell.
Yeah. So then you've got Boyata then. He came on there, he played, was it before the cup final? Or did he play?
Game. Yeah, it's dreadful.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's nerves or what the hell's happened there. I mean, he's been in the development squad playing very well, because I watched a couple of games the development squad were playing, and he's been okay. But I mean, if that's his level, then his level isn't good enough for the first team.
I actually heard of somebody that had actually been making the same kind of lot of mistakes in the development side. I wouldn't know because I don't really watch any development games, but I had big hopes for him when he came in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because he came from Man City, that whole thing where if he's came from Man City, he must be a good player.
Yeah. I mean,
and also because we got Denai after there as well.
Yeah, and Paddy Roberts as well, and I think Beaton had something to do. He was on trial there or something that didn't work out. But I mean, I'm all in favour of the Man City rejects, because let's be honest, it's going to be quite a good standard. But Richter, like, let's be honest, mate, anybody would have paid his fucking air miles wherever he wanted to go, the North Pole, the South Pole, Australia. We just wanted a shot of that guy. Doris de Vries then coming in. I mean, that's a guy at the end of his footballing career, championship or not championship player of the year last season. His Nottingham Forest he was at, wasn't he?
Nottingham Forest.
He was their team player of the year. So I mean, that's quite good amongst your peers to be voted that you're our player of the year. So unless they had a complete shit defence and the keeper was like a cat saving shots left, right and centre.
I'm not his greatest fan. I mean, he came in and he wrestled like honestly, he can't save a shot to save himself. And that Barca game, I blame a lot of that down to him. I mean, there's a lot he could have done to stop some of the goals going in. Yeah,
definitely. The free kick notoriously there as well from Neymar was calamic. So Ambrose then, we'll not dwell too much on that. I think it's a given. Lovely guy. Don't wish any bad on him.
The thing about Ambrose is, I think he can be a good defender if he cuts out the mistakes. I just don't like him going forward. See, sometimes when you see him with the ball, and once he crosses that halfway line, he starts to think he's Messi. Just please don't, man. Just don't. Just pass the ball. Just use somebody else. Don't you dare try that.
Messi on the sunbeds, eh? But it's I think that. Listen. Hopefully it reflects his price tag when he moves on. But it's I think that that Juventus game, the one that the wrestling match was going on in the Juventus box at Parkhead, we could beat 3-0. Coming back from the Africa Cup of Nations, that was that's you know what, now I know what that was the beginning of the end. And how many years ago was that? You know, why has it went on so long? Why have we not just cut our losses on this guy? You know.
I mean, every manager that's came in, they must have seen something in him. I mean, obviously in training, as I said, he can look like he is a good defender. He is good at his tackling and stuff like that. He is good at winning the ball back and stuff like that. So they must see this in training and think, right, he's a decent defender. I think a couple of managers will say he's quite athletic, and then as soon as he's sticking in a game, he makes a mistake and that's it. And I think Brendan Rodgers, credit to him, he's seen that and he's just cut right at the team. Whereas Ronnie Deila persisted though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if I keep playing him, surely he's going to come good one day. And you can see it was never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you think he was an African Cup of Nations winner. When he came back from that Juventus thing.
That's right.
So the next one then I've got is Emilio. So what's your thoughts?
I've always been a great fan of Izagiri. I really like him, but I've given him credit when it's been deserved, and I've given him stick when it's been deserved as well. Because let's face it, he has made some errors himself, and at times his defending can be atrocious. I mean, we all know he's good going forward, but I must say his cross has improved a lot this season. I don't know if that's down to Brendan working on him and training or not, but
yeah.
I mean, last season we were saying he couldn't cross a ball to save himself, but
yeah, it was like he was.
So, but he's lost his place to Tierney, who's been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, but I think that it's good business on our part that we didn't part our ways with Emilio in the summer.
It was a bit of a strange one, that one. It's like being played as if he's going to go, and then he stays.
Yeah, he stays, but I mean, it worked out to our benefit now that you've got the likes of Tierney out, that he just literally slots in straight away into that position. So yeah, I'm delighted about that. So you have Owen O'Connell then next.
I was quite a fan of him. I actually quite liked him. What I seen him in pre-season.
Yeah, against Inter and stuff over in Ireland there. Yeah.
I did look like it, and I thought, you know what, he's going to be a good player for us. He'll be good cover, and maybe if a player gets injured or a player goes, he'll get his shot. But I quite like him. I just think maybe he needs a wee spell at loan or something.
Yeah, I think the same as well. And it was leaked there prior to the Kilmarnock game that he was going to go on loan, and he says that he didn't know anything about it.
He's not going to get much game time with Simonovic. Then you've got Sviatchenko and you've got Toure.
You're right,
so,
and I think that.
I don't think he's going to get much, so it's probably best for him to go, because he has a good player and he needs, as I say, if he gets first team football, he's only going to improve.
Yeah, and I think that it's the back line that's there, that us keeping Simonovic and him not going to Torino there in the transfer window has worked wonders for us, because I mean, I don't know what happened there, but I mean, it's.
I don't know if it was due to him maybe wanting to leave, or maybe Brendan thought he was injury prone and didn't see him as part of his plans, but whatever's happened, I'm actually quite glad he stayed.
Yeah, so then you've got big Eric Sviatchenko. Now listen, that guy's a captain in the making, in my opinion. He gets it, he understands it, he knows what's expected of him, and he's just focused. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a player that I'm very, very surprised at this season and how much he's improved. What's your thoughts?
I like him. I've seen a lot of people who doubt him and they don't know the rate and stuff, but I mean, he was missing to that side yesterday, and that just proves how vital he is to our side.
Definitely.
You've seen the defence was totally different, and the fact that he can play alongside so many different defenders, and I mean, it doesn't even affect his game.
Yeah.
I really like the guy, and I think he's going to be one of the ones that will stick it out for a while as well. He's not looking for a move the way like your Van Dijk's and that were.
Yeah, and it was him and Griffiths that were out yesterday with the a bug or something along those lines. But I mean, I'm delighted with the progress that Eric's making. Definitely. Moving on, GMS. So he's coming back from the injury or whatever the hell was wrong with him. I seen him. He was. I'm not sure if he got some game time yesterday. Did I? I seen him warming up though.
I did see him warming up. Yeah. I like him, but I don't know if he's got the mentality that he needs to play for a club like Celtic. He's a good player. What he lacks is pace, and I think he kind of needs that.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're going to play the win, he's got all the trickery and the skills, but he's just not got the pace.
Yeah, it's handy to have a player like that in your fringe, but if you look at the depth and the quality we have in midfield, I mean, it's going to be a dark day in hell before he gets a game against your Scott St. Clair's. Even Stuart Armstrong, there's been playing fantastic. Forrest is like a new signing.
Forrest is great.
Yeah. Moving on to Forrest then. So at the start of the season, then I wanted him gone out the door, and now I look at myself and go, holy fuck! What was I thinking?
It's not so much that I was wanting him out the door. I think he was talking about leaving or signing a new contract, and I wasn't too bothered. If he'd left, I wasn't too bothered to see him go. You know, and I was a big fan of him when he was younger, and I used to stick up for him loads, and his mates who says, oh no, he's no good enough, stuff like this, and he'd always make you look like the right cranny, you know?
Yeah.
He'd try and stick up for him, and then he'd just come out and have a horror game, and But then, as soon as I turn my back on him, I went, do you know what, I'm done. He's no player that I thought he was going to be. Time for him to go. Then he starts playing well. Yeah, what is it with this boy?
Just
totally contradicts each time.
Inconsistency as well. It can be very, very frustrating as well. Because football fans, they're very, 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 very fickle at times, and
he's been quite consistent this season. He had a little dip in form, and he looked as if he's going to revert back to Old Forest.
Yeah.
To be fair, since the cup final, he's been great again.
Yeah. So moving on then, KT out injured at the moment. I don't think we need to elaborate. This guy is a fucking god. He gets it. He knows what it's all about. He's been brought up with it. Never will he once shy away from a fan wanting a photograph or an autograph.
Here's the thing with KT as well. I mean, we've just brought in a player on loan in Paddy Roberts, who Man City paid, what was it, 12 million for?
Yeah.
And that guy's got huge potential. And he plays alongside a player like Tierney. And Tierney, I mean, he's probably got more potential than Paddy Roberts, for me anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if Paddy Roberts is worth 12 million, how much is Tierney worth?
Yeah.
We just need to look at the two. And, I mean, he must be worth at least 12, 15 million for Tierney. I don't think we should accept it. Not that I like to sell him.
I don't think he would go.
I'd be happy if he stayed in his whole career, but if we are going to sell him, we're talking big money.
Yeah, so and then you've got the likes of Colo there. So I think that of late we've touched on it there that he had a few bomb scare games. But I mean, I think that Rodgers has brought him up there with, we'll get another year out of you and maybe look at a bit of a coaching role for you. I mean, I don't think that would hurt to have a figure like him around the club. What do you think?
Sorry, what was that, Pat?
I was just saying about Kolo Toure. He's had a few bomb scares of late, but I think the conversation was with Rodgers that he would come up, maybe play for another year, and then look at a coaching role for him. What do you think about that?
I'd be happy with him taking a coaching role, and I see a lot of people that put him in the same bracket as Ambrose because he's mistakes and stuff, but I mean, I think that's really unfair. I mean, the guy has came in and he's been solid and he's worked wonders for our defence. I mean, he came in and he sorted that defence out straight away, and I think he showed a lot of leadership qualities that we were really lacking. We needed in the dressing room because we had Scott Brown and he was about the only leader we had, so I mean, for him to come in, I think he's done a great job. I think he's probably been one of the best signings of Brendan Rodgers' tenure, right?
Yeah. So I mean, then you're moving on to guys like Chris Commons and stuff, and and you've Christopher Azure there as well. I think he's going to go on loan. Commons, like, let's be honest, he's at the end of his game. He may go to Hibs or something with Neil Lennon.
He definitely needs to go because he's not going to get a game. I mean, he's just draining wages. I've heard the rumours about going to Hibs. I mean, I'm going to bother who he really went to be honest. I mean, once he goes.
Yeah, and I mean, Rodgers has turned around and said that anybody that isn't needed has been told that they aren't needed, and that's the type of ruthless management we need at the club. So I would put in that bracket maybe Commons, Chifchi.
Chifchi as well. I've never been I'm not the type to write off a player quick. I mean, they come in the door and I'll give them at least a season to see how they are. But I mean, Chifchi's just one of those players where you knew straight away he wasn't going to make it.
Definitely. So I mean, Griffiths at the minute, and I think that it's a combined. I've got
my worries for Griffiths as well. I mean, you've got Dembele who's came in, who's been outstanding, and keeping him out of the team. There's only going to be a matter of time before Griffiths gets fed up because he's not getting trusted in football.
Yeah.
And he'll maybe want to leave. And then if he leaves, and then obviously Dembele's not going to stay forever, he's going to leave, then we're left looking for a striker again. And everybody knows we struggle to bring in strikers.
Yeah, I know that.
We've got a good record of bringing in strikers.
Yeah, I know that there was an evening with Lee Griffiths lately, and he was asked a question about, listen, Moussa Dembele, and how do you feel? And he says, listen, I can't argue with it. It was just inconvenient. I think Griffiths got injured, went out, Dembele came in, and has filled his boots. And it's
one thing I'd like to see maybe for Brendan Rodgers is, although Rogic can't last the full 90 minutes at times, when he takes him off, I don't know why he didn't try Griffins in behind Dembele. I really think that would be quite a good partnership. I think it would work well.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to give a try.
Yeah, even I was thinking with the Sinclair Griffiths maybe because he's good at running with the ball. You know, he's really really good at that. I was thinking he could have slotted in there for Sinclair, but as you know, I have total trust in Brendan Rodgers and what he wants to do. So I'm confident that he knows what he's doing. So we've got Leonard Fassan, the goalkeeper. I think he's going to move on as well. Liam Henderson. So he's been told that Rodgers that he likes what he's doing. He just wants him to keep his head down.
He's a player I like. I really like Henderson. As I've said, I think I've mentioned on Twitter a few times, I'd like to see a good quality midfielder run January, whenever, and have him as backup. Keep Henderson as backup. Have him learn off the likes of Scott Brown and stuff. Because Scott Brown's only got a couple more years left in him. I really think Henderson's good enough to take his place. Yeah,
you think about it though, with a footballer, that are you happy to sit on the bench? And it's the age-old question. Like the Bobo Balde was quite happy to sit there and get us 30 grand a week on the bench, you know. But it's different times now, and some players are passionate about playing. I would probably like to see Henderson go on loan as well. In my opinion.
I think, which I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, and it's good that
he knows his squad on that, and he's been there before, so it'd help him develop. Would slot right in there again.
Yeah, it's good that Rodgers and Lennon know each other, and they have an element of trust there, that they can trust the player with that person, you know. You have Logan Bay. I'm led to believe he's heading back to Belgium. Fair enough. With 4 goalkeepers, let's be honest, there's no need for that. Lustig, we already touched on him earlier on. Just unbelievable. Put him in the same bracket there as James Forrest. I would have, if you listen back to my previous podcast, it's saying that we were quite happy for him to. I was quite happy for him to move on, and now I look at it and go, fuck me, what a player, like, you know. Dembele then, worth his weight in gold. Unreal. The price tags being spoke about, flying around 20 million to Liverpool, and whoever else is looking at him. I mean, the reality of it is, we all know that Peter Lawwell, as much as we love to hate him or hate to love him, he's a prudent guy. He's a big fan of the sell-on clause. So listen, if Musa moves on, he'll go with our blessing. But we're going to get certainly well paid for that.
Yeah, and I see one or two people actually say he was overrated yesterday on Twitter, which had to happen. That was, he's getting the credit he deserves. He's been absolutely outstanding, and people forget he's only 19. There's going to be games where he's not playing well.
Yeah.
But, he's only going to get better. And if he gives us 2 years, I'll be happy. I'm not one of these fans that like to see the money come in. If he stayed with us for the duration of his contract, I'd be happy. I'd be more happy with that than actually seeing him going for big money.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not really concerned about the money that comes in. But if he stays for 3 or 4 seasons, helps us to Champions League. We're making money off him anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're getting our worth it. We're already got our worth it.
So the strange one for me then, looking at the start of the season, it was what's going on here? Chefsky was getting a hell of a lot of game time in pre-season, and even up the.
I think that was maybe him trying to shift him at the door, though. I think he'd maybe just put him in a shop window.
Yeah.
To see if he can get any offers for him.
Yeah, and he needs to move on, in my opinion. And then you've got Paddy Roberts there. He's going. I think that's inevitable. He's going to go, but
that's a bit of a mad one. This time last season, everybody's saying, we're missing him already. He's not even away yet this season. When he goes, are you really going to miss him?
Yeah, but you've got 4.
I don't think I will. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's got huge potential, but when he moves on, I don't think I'll notice him missing because of the form
what we have as well. Yeah, you're totally right. So Beaton then, he's impact man at the minute, really, isn't he? Coming on at 6.
I think he's only negative your side. He's the only thing that we can complain about.
Yeah. So talk to me what you feel about Peter Lawwell. and I'll be back in 1 second. I just need to get something done for this computer. So tell me what you're thinking about Lowell at the minute. Yeah, so I mean it's sorry, I just had to charge the computer there. I didn't want the podcast going off there. I was just charging the computer. So with Law, I think he's probably the most. I'm trying to find a word here. Mark said you've gone quiet there. Dave, if you can turn up your speaker, maybe move it a wee bit closer, that would be great, mate. With Lowell. You there yet? You're very faint there, buddy. So you are. I might need to call you back. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give Dave a call back here. It's just a tech fucking technology for you. Eh? So what I'm thinking is with Lowell, there's not a man who isn't earning his wages now as Peter Lowell. We hated Peter Lowell for whatever reasons, and I think now. Hello, you there?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, mate. That's great. So I was just saying there, Dave, with Lowell, there's not a man in the world glad to see Brendan Rodgers than Peter Lowell. That guy has came in, taking the whole football club on his shoulders. He I mean, let's be honest, Lowell can fuck around in the background and he doesn't really need to be seen. Lowell, in your opinion, how do you think he's feeling and how do you think it's going with Brett?
He's got a manager there that he can't push around for a change, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, as I say, as soon as he sees big money, he sells the players. And I don't think he'll be allowed to do that under Rodgers. I really don't. I mean, I think Rodgers will walk with all these best players get sold all the time, and rightfully so. So, I mean, he's not going to come in here and he spoke about great things, about building great teams and achieving things. And every time he gets a great team together, Lowell's going to just take the money and put half the squad. I don't think he's going to stand for that.
I think that in all aspects of the football department, Dave, is that you've seen the likes of John Park move on, and we've all had John Park signings in and out of Celtic in recent times. Some great, some fucking terrible. But the mere fact that he's moved on is a sort of a change in direction of the football club. What I do think that, and I read this morning on Celtic News Now, is that it was a 3-hour meeting between Dermot Desmond and Brendan Rodgers. So I think that Lowell has the running of the club, and Rodgers has the running of all things football.
Which I was wanting to see for a while. I mean, after Ronnie left, that's what I was saying. I just wanted to see somebody come in and take care of the football side.
Yep.
Rather than Peter Lowell trying to play manager sometimes.
Yep, definitely.
You know, and Rodgers was the man I wanted from the start. I was a little bit hopeful, but I wasn't 100% confident it would get him. And then after Dermot Desmond's interview on Sky, I can't remember when it was, but it said something about had interviews with managers and stuff, and I just knew straight away. As soon as you seen him smirk his face, I thought, we've got Rodgers. You just knew it. Yeah,
and it's great that like as for all we know, that Dermot Rodgers is a big giant hun basher, and he only he comes back around every 4 years and goes, oh right, they're back, are they? Right, where were we? Let's move on. How are we going to go about our business here? And it's great that he's taken a regained interest in the club, that we've all been asking for in recent years. What do you I mean, just to tie it off here, I mean we've players there, I mean, their fringe maybe could go on loan or stick around in the development squad. And PJ Crossan, Ryan Christody, Sadie Yanko, Scott Allen's on loan also there.
This PJ Crossan, I don't know much about him, but I've heard he's got huge potential. He's maybe quite a player.
Yeah.
But not that I've seen much about him.
Also, we're looking at players that have found their way again or seen the light. Scott Brown, fucking hell.
He's been outstanding. What a player. I mean, totally different player. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was one of the ones that thought he was done. I actually made a poll at the start of the season saying, do you think he's done? And about, it came out at 60% saying that they thought he was done, his time was up, it was time to go, and he's proved everybody wrong. I mean, he's just been outstanding. And
I do think that Rodgers was in his ear a little bit as far as the international footballing scene was concerned, and he's since decided, I know he played recently there for Scotland, but he's since decided to call it a day on the international level, and I think that's more to save his legs type thing. And I mean, completely different player, and I'm delighted, absolutely delighted.
See, I'm not a huge fan of international football. None of the players play for Scotland again, and I'd be glad. I really didn't care, you know.
Yeah, so then you've got the likes of so Johansson, he obviously went, but you've got Scott St. Clair there. Wow, seriously.
He's great. He's just what a player. I mean, he's just a cut above.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show you when you pay that money for a player, you're going to get quality.
Yeah.
You know. And
it's good that Rodgers obviously had that much impact on his career that he's decided, listen, because I think it was Villa he was at, wasn't it? He was they were going to no, we're going to hold out and get so much for you on this date. So I mean, it's just one of the things. Sorry, 1 second. So
the thing with the players as well, I mean, it's not just the money we brought in, because I think it was only 3 million or something. It's the wages. I mean, see if you bring in the players that are going to give you quality, give them the wages that they're after, because we can't afford that. I mean, it's not like we can all afford to play players for 5, 10, 15 grand a week. We can't afford to give some players 25, 30 what they're after, and if they're going to give you quality for your squad, then I don't see any reason why you shouldn't do it. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and as I say, if you're going to do that, you're going to make your money back in Champions League. So.
Yeah. And then two other players then, Rogic and Stuart Armstrong, just fucking, it just goes to show, Dave, that when you bring a manager in who knows how to manage people and manage backroom staff, so that you get results like these. And I can recall that there was 19 non-playing staff going to games under Ronnie Deila. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking, I mean, dietitians and whatever, and fucking sports psychologists and all this bollocks. It's a desire to win. It's mentality. It's down to true grit, determination, drive, desire. It's all those things. If you want to be the best, a manager needs to motivate you to be those things, and we have that in Brendan Rodgers, in my opinion. So absolutely, we've done a bit of who should stay, who should go there, and thoughts and opinions on our squad and players of the past there. So I listened back to the Homeboys interview there, Paul Larkin, who's done a Homeboys Extra podcast there with Brendan Rodgers.
I listened back to that last night myself.
And
I thought it was a great interview.
Talk about like being like just in awe of someone like that, and being inspired, and not even that in a sense, it's more reassured. It's just like yesterday we were 2-0 down at half time, and I was like, fuck, Jesus, is that the wrong scoreboard, or is it they got it the wrong way around or something? I went to half time and I said to myself, look, listen, I'm happy here, you know, I'm content. And it's been a while since I've been able to say that, Dave, and I've been around, and I can say I trust the manager, and he asked for patience from the fans at the start of the season. He's got that, but he's also built a belief from us that we understand and we believe in him even more so. So what do you think yourself?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, yesterday's game was great for one thing. It sends out a message to Scottish football. I mean, teams who think they're going to come, they're going to score 1 or 2 goals against us, and it's going to be enough. They're going to have to think again.
Yeah.
You know, because it's going to take a lot more than that to beat us, and that's all down to Brendan Rodgers. I mean, the mentality of these set players is great. As I said, we've been tested for that this season, and it was great to see that we have actually got the mental strength to come back for that.
Yeah.
Because at 2-0 down, I thought, as I've said, do you know what, they're going to take the points today. But I mean, that was maybe just down to my mindset for last season under Ronnie.
Yeah.
And it's great, man.
I mean, I'll gladly. It's a choice of mentality. You know, you can go, fuck, there's Messi. Oh shit, and
I think that the game you've seen it most was Russia Mönchengladbach away.
yeah.
I mean, there was just no. I mean, that in past teams we go away in Europe and we really struggle, and at times we do look really nervous. You've never seen that at all.
Yeah, I was in sorry, go ahead there.
I'm saying we really had a go at them, and that was a game I thought we could have won. I mean, especially the game at Man City as well. I was quite disappointed with the 2 games because we could have won.
Yeah,
you know.
I was in Orlando for that in Florida with the family for that game, and what happened was it was like a 2:45 kickoff. I was actually having to speak to some of the Smell the Glove guys to keep me right with Eastern time and so on. I didn't know where the fuck I was, but I went down to there's a bar there called the Lucky Leprechaun on International Drive. Got in, a few beers, sat down, chilled out, relaxed, and took in the game. And notoriously, I sort of get anxious before European games. But I think what happened to us going into after being beaten by Mönchengladbach at home, going into that game, I felt that we had football to lose. You know, it was literally, yeah, well, we'll see what happens, but we're going on the offense here, and we're gonna bring it. And it's that type of mentality that is being instilled in our players, and we don't go backwards, we go forwards. And it's almost like it can be deemed as arrogance, and here, listen, I'm all for it, but and that is probably the reaction that Mark McGee gave yesterday. That's why he behaved like a fucking screaming.
What was all that about? I actually seen stuff about that on Twitter. Was this before the game or after the game?
Yeah, he said that I think it was more directed at Chris Davies as opposed to Brendan Rodgers. After we got the winner, I can only imagine what happened. I don't know what happened is the honest answer, Dave, but I think what I took from it was that Chris Davies was like cheering or jumping up and down, and Mark McGee took that as provocation. So God forbid you God forbid you jump up and down and cheer when your team get a fucking last minute winner.
I thought it was something to do with we weren't allowed to warm up before the game.
I read that too, but I mean, I think that's all what teams we're facing, and even Aberdeen there at the cup final there last weekend, they attempted to stir down the huddle. It was pretty embarrassing. It most certainly didn't work. And if you remember in Lisbon, Jock Stein said to I'm not sure the player, I can't recall, but I know what happened. He says go out there and take that dugout on the left hand side there, and I think whoever the player was went out and took the dugout, and Jock Stein says to him, that's 1-0 to us, because that was the dugout that they had been training in. So I think they're all going for the whole main games type carry on, and listen, it's certainly not working, and So then moving on. So we're talking about we're moving into it's now the 4th of December. Then one of the January transfer window kick off here in less than 3 weeks' time, or in and around 3 weeks' time, should I say? Lots of chit chat going on in the summer there, and who's coming in and who's going out, and so on. Lots of because Mr. Lowell is an absolute genius. It's probably the first time I've ever said that. He's got he's got the sell-on clauses instilled in players. Yes, we're probably devastated that they move on from Celtic at the time, but he's a smart motherfucker in the sense that, yeah, okay, you can buy Virgil van Dijk for 13 million, no problem, Virgil, good luck to you. But when you sell Virgil on, we'll take a 15% sell-on clause. So Virgil, I'm not sure if you've seen it there, Dave, it's being brandished about 40 million, 50 million. So I mean, I'll take some of that pie. You can call Peter Law what you want, but I mean that's quite really good business for not.
I'm not actually paying attention to his career since I left because I don't really watch much EPL football. I used to, but just don't have the time these days to watch much football. I just make time to watch my Celtic games, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I've heard that he's the best defender down there, and the people are actually saying that he'd suit Barcelona and stuff. So
Yeah.
I actually think one of the guys in Homeboys was mentioned that he's destined for Barcelona one day because when he was with us, you seen he was that type of player. He's just salty with the ball and everything.
Yeah, just a boss, really. And in reality, Wanyama, we got some spins on his move to Spurs as well. Big Fraser Forster there, he had a bomb score yesterday against Crystal Palace. So he did. But that's money that we get for doing nothing, really. You know, it's just at the time the contract was signed, you slip in the extra 15%. Players that are being spoke about coming in, you'll have the usual Robert Snodgrass, James McCarthy, and so on. What are your thoughts on those?
I'd like Snodgrass. I'd like him to come in.
Yeah.
And as for McCarthy, I wouldn't want a loan deal from him if it was just for 6 months to play in the SPFL.
Yeah.
I really don't like loan deals. I'm getting sick of them. It's the worst than actually bringing in a. At least we're getting money back from. Whereas a loan deal, they'll come in, we'll get used to him, we'll improve the squad. It's like everybody says if we bring in McCarthy, he'll be like the final piece of the puzzle, and then what he plays for 6 months, a year, then he's off, and then we're left to find a replacement. There's no money for him because it was a loan deal, so we're left to find a replacement with actually no money back for him. So for me, I'm not really the type of person for loan deals.
Yeah, no, me neither. I mean, and I think with the last, the Paddy Roberts loan deal, we took it to suit us, as in we took him on an 18-month deal. So if it's an 18-month deal, yeah, I'll take it, but I'm not really interested in 6 months loan deals or anything like that. At least
if it's a loan deal with an option to buy at the end, I've not got a problem with that.
Yeah.
And I think the club could afford to bring in McCarthy. I don't think we will. I still don't think we'd ever pay that kind of fee, but I think we could afford to bring him in. Give him the wage he can say he wants, and we'll get paid back for the Champions League. Yeah,
I mean, I look at it as in it's Scottish boys who support the club, want to come home type thing and be with their families and stuff like that. I mean, you look at the likes of Bruni there, KT, Craig Gordon, Griff, all those Scottish, that Scottish backbone of the team in there. You mean there's from a goalkeeper to a defender to a midfielder to a striker. It's the foundations of the club of a Scotch Irish element there, considering that James McCarthy is allegedly Irish. So it's more for me that players come in, understand, as in, you know the fucking crack here, we don't do second best. And as long as they get it, and they're not coming in like Ronnie Dale is there and taking the job and going, holy fuck, what have I got myself into here? And you've probably seen it in the press there recently that he was like, I couldn't sleep and stuff like that, you know. So as long as they get it, it's all.
I feel for Ronnie. I mean, he wasn't the greatest manager everybody thought he was going to turn it to be this. I know I think they did, but a few people thought he was going to turn it to be this excellent manager.
Yeah.
We got our old manager, we'd shine him up just like we do players, and but I mean, he was a nice guy, but that's where it ends.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. So you are. So moving forward, then we're going to have the City game here coming up Tuesday night. Am I right?
Yeah.
Tuesday night. What are you thinking there? I mean, I've quite happily, if I'm honest, Dave, I wouldn't want to go into the Europa League. I would prefer we were just out of the Champions League. The reason behind that, I know, and it sounds crazy that a Celtic fan doesn't want to be in Europe, is if there was ever a year that we were going to do the treble, I'd say the double's in the bag already. This is the year.
Yeah.
And that's
been absolutely fantastic to get the treble this year. I'm absolutely desperate for a treble. I have been for years, but even more so this year, just for Brendan. I mean, I'd love to see him get it. And the fact that it's the 50th anniversary of Lisbon's as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great to get it this year.
Definitely.
And I think that's why I was so nervous before the final.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
It was before I'd actually got myself so fucking nervous worrying about the ref, and I thought, they're going to try and do us, man. They don't want to see us get this treble. They'll be beating them penalties, sending our players after a lot. I had all these bad scenarios in my head before the final, and I got myself so nervous for it. It turns out none of them were true, and we just strolled again.
You mean all those honest mistakes?
Aye.
It's and looking at this 1 second, there, Dave.
Too soon to get the phone.
I'm on the conference call. Thank you. So sorry there. Just had a colleague interrupt me there.
I thought you were caught off your boss there.
Boss doesn't work. Boss doesn't work on Sunday, so it's pretty good that way. It's the looking at Rodgers bringing the trophy back to Paradise, and I tell you what, I verged on crying myself to see him. And if anybody ever doubted, he was a Celtic man. You look at that. He's saying that bringing a trophy back to the club he's always supported, and the club he's always.
You seen how much it meant to him and stuff, and it's great to see that to a manager.
Yeah.
Especially a manager has quality, and you just know that he's not just going to be here for a year or two.
Yeah.
This guy wants to stay here, and he wants to build something special.
Definitely.
And it's brilliant to know that.
Yeah.
And the thing about this final was as well, I thought there was a strange feeling before it, and it wasn't just because it was, we were winning a 100th trophy. It was, I think it's a Brendan Rodgers effect.
Definitely.
If Ronnie Darlow was still here, and it was him before that game and stuff, there wouldn't have been as much a special feel around about it. Even though we were winning a 100th trophy, I think that was all just down to Brendan Rodgers, because we just want him to, because he's a Celtic man, we love nothing more than to see Celtic people achieve success.
Yeah. Definitely. So, City game, I'm going to go for a prediction here. I'm going to say I'll take a score draw. I'm going to say Big Dembele to score again. What about yourself?
I'd say I'm saying 2-1. These are the type of games we usually win, because we're at the Champions League, nothing left to play for. Not one game in the group.
Yeah.
Champions are all.
Nothing to lose.
I mean, we're underdogs as well, which everybody knows works in our favour.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I just think this game's one of the ones that's just, we're destined to win.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the predictions go in the next show then. So, okay, so recently during the week, myself and Pedro here, we done a poll. So, I'm going to give Pedro a chance to pull up his Twitter there and get us the poll results. So basically what happened was we asked, recently we found out that we were going to be playing Rangers, or the Sevco, whatever we're calling them these days. We were going to be playing them on New Year's Eve. On the back of the last Glasgow derby, we found that they ruined our toilets. So as opposed to us going down to their level, it was recommended, it was seen on Facebook there as well, that we should go to Ibrox and decorate the toilets. So I'm going to pass over to Pedro here. He's going to give us the results of the poll. So over to you, big man.
Yeah, see, I actually missed this thing for on Facebook, so I just heard it for you. But the poll was, for the game against Sevcourt in New Year, what should we do to improve their toilets? Add toiletries was at 27%, clean them was at 12%, install a banana machine, which was my personal favourite, at 5%. I just love this thought of all these monkey bastards in the toilet banging in a banana machine. And the winner was paint and green with 56%.
Okay.
Which would be a great idea, to be fair.
So we could just see Celtic fans smuggling in bags of paint. Airtight bags of paint to the toilets.
There's a few people commenting on this poll saying, oh, we should just act as normal human beings and stuff, and I just don't think they realise it was just a bit of fun. You know?
But
and comment back with that, listen, I mean, no, I'm pretty sure we'll show class in the day, we'll get up to anything like that.
No.
I mean,
not go down to their level.
Yeah, definitely. But it would be great if we'd actually managed to sneak in toiletries and stuff. And I mean,
you mean actual toilet roll?
Imagine doing that. You can actually imagine hearing that around the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know them what Celtic fans react to Sevco fans who trash their toilets by adding toiletries and fucking luxuries to the toilet.
Little fluffy toilet seat covers and stuff like that. I hope it happens. I definitely do. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, listen, David, I can only apologise. It's been a long time since I promised to get you on, and today I've actually got you on. I've thoroughly enjoyed having you on. I have to say that. So, yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you coming on. So that's really all from us this morning, or going into this afternoon, or depending on where you are, it could be evening as well. Just want to give a couple of plugs out there to the other shows, and there's a bit of a thing going on in Hail Media at the moment as well. So there's other podcasts out there. You've got the History Boys Abroad, the Ball Boys, Nothing But Respect, Homeboys, Colonial Podcast, Smell the Glove, one of my favourites. There's a colossal amount of podcasts going on there.
We just kind of blew up a bit since you've been away.
Absolutely.
I mean, not that it wasn't already popular, but I mean, the amount of podcasts, it's just for this Brendan Rodgers effect. I think everybody just loves talking about Celtic.
Yeah.
It's always happening, but it's just even more exciting now. You know?
Absolutely.
I think he's pulled us all together as one again.
Yeah. Also, guys, don't forget to check out on Spreaker. Also, my good friend Chris Long. He's at A.Morton1 on Twitter. He does a Celtic Dream show on Sunday evening. Chris's show is always fantastic, one of the top guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all the American guys there, although it's a wee bit late. Don't forget Paul Larkin's on the road at the moment. He's making his way stateside to bring the Anyone But Celtic tour to the States. And also his the IRA block book is out at the moment as well. I get all my Celtic News Now from the Celtic News Now app on the App Store or Play Store, the one place I go to get my Celtic news. Also, my good friend our good friend Pedro at Kaza, Carrie on Twitter there. She's doing some fantastic Christmas t-shirts at the moment. I've got my Paradise one. I've got my Lisbon Lions one there as well that she's done for me. Fantastic t-shirts, and I know people get t-shirts given to them and through work, and I know I certainly do, and they're literally used to clean the windows. What I would say is Carrie's t-shirts, reasonably priced, very good quality. They're Celtic t-shirts. I was actually
you're definitely getting your money's worth.
Yeah,
I really like them.
Definitely. I was walking around. I actually wore one of them to the bar in Florida, and the guy was like, "Where did you get that t-shirt, mate?" And I says, I gave him Carrie's Twitter address, so I'm not sure if he acted on it, but they're certainly getting noticed globally. So, other than that, Pedro, I'm done, buddy. Have you anything else you want to add?
No, that's me. I've enjoyed myself, mate. It's been good.
Yeah, happy days, mate. Guys, this is probably one of the first times I've been able to have guests on the show, so moving forward, I'll try and alternate. Yes, Pedro will most definitely have you back on again. I've had promises to other people out there as well, so I just want to mix it up. maybe make it a phone-in show type thing. But I mean, if I've most certainly enjoyed getting you on, and I know your time is of the essence as well, there, mate. So I know it's not always easy for you to get some free time, but I do appreciate you taking some time out of your Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon to come and speak to me today.
No worries, mate. It's worth it.
Okay, folks, so that's us all done on the Tuesday night Champions League. For what it's worth, I'll take a score draw. Pedro will take a 2-1 win. Hail, hail, slam, take it easy.